We have two super special throwback schemes that I can't wait to show you guys. Rick Ferkel is the Ohio Traveler.
Every year, we fans all look forward to one of the most unique traditions in the sport, Throwback Weekend at Darlington Raceway. This event has been a part of the NASCAR calendar for nearly a decade, bringing nostalgia and excitement to the racetrack. Throwback Weekend is all about celebrating the history of stock car racing by featuring classic paint schemes inspired by legendary cars and drivers from the past. So, can we expect more teams to step up and bring back the excitement of Throwback Weekend? Well, keep watching till the end to find out. In the past, NASCAR's Throwback Weekend has been a major success, with dozens of teams unveiling special retro designs. In some years, as many as 25 Cup Series cars have featured throwback schemes. But more recently, participation seems to be dropping. With Darlington just days away, only a few teams had announced their throwback designs, raising concerns about whether this tradition is losing its momentum. Throwback Weekend is not just about the look of the cars. It's about honoring the history and legacy of NASCAR. The event takes place at Darlington Raceway, one of the most historic tracks in the sport. Nicknamed the track Too Tough to Tame, Darlington has been hosting NASCAR races since 1950. It is home to the famous Southern 500, one of NASCAR's most prestigious races. For years, the Southern 500 was the centerpiece of Darlington's schedule, but in 2015, NASCAR decided to give its spring race a unique identity by introducing the Throwback Weekend. This decision gave the race a special meaning and made it stand out from the rest of the season. Instead of just being another stop on the NASCAR calendar, Darlington's spring race became an event that fans and teams looked forward to because of its connection to the sport's past. One of the biggest challenges for Throwback Weekend is getting teams and sponsors to participate. Sponsorship is a major part of NASCAR, with companies spending hundreds of thousands of dollars to have their logos on race cars. Many of these companies have specific branding guidelines, which can make it difficult to create throwback schemes that still align with their corporate image. Some teams have done a fantastic job of blending retro designs with modern sponsorships. For example, in past years, companies like WeatherTech and Bass Pro Shops have worked with teams to create authentic-looking throwbacks while still maintaining their branding. However, other sponsors have struggled to find a balance, sometimes making changes that take away from the original design they are trying to honor. When done correctly, throwback paint schemes can be a huge hit with fans. NASCAR fans are passionate about the history of the sport, and they appreciate when teams put in the effort to create accurate and meaningful designs. A well-executed throwback scheme can generate a lot of attention on social media and even boost merchandise sales, making it a win-win for both the teams and their sponsors. Over the years, NASCAR has seen some incredible throwback paint schemes. One of the best examples came from Kyle Larson and Hendrick Motorsports, who brought back the iconic Kellogg Chevrolet scheme from 2003. The design featured the famous tiger stripes on the doors and was instantly recognizable to longtime fans. Another standout was Team Penske's tribute to Dale Earnhardt Sr. The team used Earnhardt's famous blue and yellow Wrangler colors, making it one of the most talked about schemes of the weekend. The Wood brothers also had a unique throwback, paying tribute to their involvement in the 1965 Indianapolis 500. Their car featured a classic green and gold design that stood out from the rest of the field. Even with some great designs, not every throwback scheme has been a success. Some teams have missed the mark, either by changing colors too much or by creating designs that are barely recognizable as a tribute. For example, one team attempted to honor Ken Schrader, but altered the original colors so much that it no longer looked like the car it was supposed to represent. While the Cup Series has had some amazing throwbacks, it's the NASCAR Xfinity Series that has been leading the charge in recent years. Xfinity teams have consistently put out some of the best designs, with many teams fully embracing the spirit of Throwback Weekend. One great example was the throwback to Jamie McMurray's 2010 Daytona 500 and Brickyard 400 winning car. The Xfinity version looked almost identical to the original, proving how well these teams can replicate classic designs. Other Xfinity teams like Joe Gibbs Racing have also done a fantastic job bringing back famous schemes from the past and making sure they are as accurate as possible. The Xfinity Series dedication to Throwback Weekend has kept the tradition alive, even when Cup Series participation has declined. Despite concerns about lower participation, there is still hope for Throwback Weekend. The event remains popular with fans, and many teams still see value in celebrating NASCAR's history. The key to keeping this tradition alive will be finding ways to encourage more teams and sponsors to participate. One possible solution is for NASCAR to offer incentives to teams that take part in Throwback Weekend. This could include extra media coverage, promotional opportunities, or even a special award for the best throwback scheme. NASCAR could also work with sponsors to help them see the value of participating, showing them how much positive attention these designs can bring. Another way to keep the tradition strong is by involving the fans more. NASCAR could allow fans to vote on throwback schemes or suggest designs that they would like to see. This would create more excitement and give fans a greater sense of involvement in the event. Over the years, Ryan Vargas has also made a name for himself in American stock car racing, but last year he took on a completely different challenge by racing in the Euro NASCAR Series. Now in 2025, he has announced that he will be competing in the NASCAR Canada Series, partnering with DJ Kennington, a Canadian racing legend. Racing in Europe was a huge shift for Vargas. It wasn't just about different tracks, it was about a completely different racing culture. He traveled across several countries, including Spain, Italy, Germany, Belgium, and the Netherlands. Each location had its own unique style, and each race brought new challenges. The tracks were different from what he was used to in the United States, and the atmosphere was something he had never experienced before. He wasn't just racing against drivers from the US, but was competing with racers from all over Europe. One of the biggest takeaways from his European racing experience was how much it opened his eyes to the global appeal of NASCAR. Many fans in the United States may not realize how much passion there is for stock car racing in Europe. Races in places like Brands Hatch in the UK and the Venray Oval in the Netherlands were packed with fans who were just as excited about NASCAR as the people who attend races in the US. Some events even saw crowds of over 50,000 people, proving that NASCAR has a significant fan base outside of North America. Despite being far from home, Vargas found success in the Euro NASCAR Series. He managed to secure a top 10 finish in the overall standings, earned a few podium finishes, and even won in his category on a road course. For someone who has mostly been known as an oval racer, winning on a road course was a major achievement. He was able to push himself in new ways, learning more about racing on different types of tracks and against a new set of competitors. But after spending a season in Europe, Vargas and his team had to decide what was next. While the Euro NASCAR experience was incredible, he wanted to race closer to home. And that's when the idea of competing in the NASCAR Canada Series came up. Now, before you leave, just don't forget to give this video a like, smash that subscribe button, and also ring that notification bell while you're down there.